website. So I actually have open a demo website that I've created, and I've done it in the Rally template. And you'll actually notice that I've taken a ton of stuff off of the template that you would normally see on here. So this would actually be my template that I'm going into to make my to do my website design. So we're going to go ahead and do a mood board. And basically what the mood board is it sets up your style settings, your main style settings anyways, for your website. So we're going to go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to go ahead and add a not linked section, and I'm going to do an index, and I'm going to call it mood boards. And I'm going to add a section, and I'm going to add a blank section to that. And I'm going to call that my colored. There's going to be two sections to our mood board. Our colored photo background and our plain background. We'll just say white background. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the colored photo background, and I'm going to click on banner, and I'm going to upload a colored background that I've already made up in Canva. And I'm just going to go ahead and add that in there. And as you can see, my color shows. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to add some text. And it's already got a text block in there, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you that you click on that little sort of teardrop, and then you add your text. So we're going to go heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, body text, and links. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and select that all. And I'm just going to center it, and then I'm going to go back, and I'm going to make heading 1, heading 1. Heading 2 is going to be heading 2. Heading 3 is going to be heading 3. And then body text and links will be the same because they default to text. So now I'm actually going to go and just take out that old text block that was already there, and I'm going to add buttons now. And I'm going to start with my small button. And I don't normally add my click-through URL in it when I'm just doing my mood board because it doesn't really matter. I'm going to change those when I add them into my site anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and do apply. I'm going to go apply and do another button. It's going to be my medium button, which is already there. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to apply my large button. And just for good measure, I'm going to add a couple of spacer bars below. You don't have to do this, but I am. Okay. So there we go. We've got our dark colored one. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to go in our white background, and we're going to basically do the exact same thing. Oops. Fingers aren't working. And I'm going to go ahead and center that and go back through and change those so that they are going to show you those same things. And then we're going to go ahead and just delete that old text box. And again, go through and put our buttons in. So small, medium, large, and then what the heck, we'll add a spacer bar just because. Okay, so now that we have those, we are going, and you can see they're different, right? They're actually different colors, but you know, we don't love those fonts. It's kind of like that reads a little small, so we want to maybe change that to be what we want for our personal branding. So we're going to go ahead and click on home, and we're going to go to design, and we're going to go to site styles. Let that load up. I do have the world's slowest internet, so that's why. And then we're going to go ahead and I'm going to click on heading 1. And I'm going to click on where it says fonts, or where it says heading. See where it says heading 1, that little arrow. And I'm going to change the font, and I'm just going to change it to, we're going to change it to, what will we change it to? Play Fair Display. And you can go ahead and just type in the name of a font, and it should pull it up. So there it is. We've changed that. You can see And then I'm going to leave that as 700, but you can change it. You can see that we'll make it actually lighter, darker, bolder. So we'll go ahead and leave that in the middle. Style, you can change it to italic or you can change it to normal. Size, I'm just going to make that a little bit smaller. I'm going to make, oh yeah, well, no, we'll do that. Okay, and then letter spacing, I'm going to leave that. You can transform it. You can actually change it so that it makes all lowercase. You can capitalize it. You can say all uppercase, or you can say none. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and just leave that as uppercase. All right, so now for color, I'm probably going to leave it as this color, but what's going to happen though is when you go through and design your website, if your images have lighter backgrounds, you're actually going to want to change this to a darker color so that it reads better on your website. But for the purposes of this tutorial, we're just going to go ahead and leave them as white on in this particular case. So then again, we're going to do the same thing for heading 2. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change that Montserrat because I just like it. And then click over to here. We're going to go ahead and make that a little bit bigger because it needs to be bigger. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to go make it 24. We'll leave it transformed and we'll leave it as white. And we're going to go ahead and do the same thing for this one as well. And I'm just going to change it. I usually like to have the, I like to alternate my headings, but they don't have to. And then I'm going to go ahead and make that a bit bigger. Okay, and then body text, we're going to go ahead and change the body to, I'm going to change that to Montserrat. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. As you can see, when you do a sans serif font, you don't necessarily have to make it as big, so I'm going to make it like that. Okay, so that's that. And then we get to our buttons, and it's kind of the same thing. So with our button color, I'm going to go ahead and use some of the colors that I have selected for my website design, and I keep them in a note on my desktop if I'm working on something. So the light blue is the color that we had for the, oh, I forgot to change. No, we're going to do that in a minute. The light blue is that background color, and then there's a green. So we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to copy that. And these are hex colors. And don't be freaked out because when you pull it up, it's going to be like this kind of color. No big deal. Just copy it and paste it right in there. Hit enter, and it's changed your color. And then I'm going to actually change the style. I don't like those outline ones. And then, oh, why did it do that? Alternate, because it's the alternate button because we're on the dark. That's why. Duh. Okay, so the alternate is on the dark. So that's what we've got going there. And then I can go ahead and change the text color, but I'm going to leave it white there, but you've got a different font in there. So we're actually going to change the font in the button. And it's basically the same thing that we went through on the last. I should have changed it. And it did. And then you can change the size again as well. So we're going to do the alternate color here again, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to use a different color from our one. So we're going to use a dark blue. That, and I'm going to make it solid again, and I'm going to change the text color to white. And I'm just going to slide this all the way up, and that is where you get your white from. And then I'm going to make the large button. I'll probably make it green again too. Or I'll make it dark actually. I'll make it the dark color of my font. So we're going to use that color. Go ahead and make it solid. Alternate button color. Make it that color. And then again, the font we're going to make white. Oh, and I have to change my fonts too. So I'll go back and do that for the one before as well. Put that all the way up there, and I'm going to go ahead and just go back and change him to Montserrat. So that is the ones for the colors, for the colored background. Now, the white background, which is, probably most of your website, but maybe not, you can also change the colors. So now we're going to go ahead and in here, this is totally independent of what is going on in the other ones. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to actually change this to, I'm going to change it to this green color. And we're going to go ahead. Oops. and change it there. And you can see that it changed it there, but it did not change it up here. Okay. But the thing that does stay consistent through both of them is the sizes and the font styling. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to change that one. I'm going to make it a dark color. I'm going to actually make it the same color as my body text. And it should be, and it's sort of, see, it's the same font. Do that. And while I'm at it, since I've already got it copied, I might as well go ahead, copy it into here. And I'm actually going to make my links cover color a different color. I'm going to make it this green color. It's not going to show here, but it will on your website, I promise. Now we're going to go back into heading 3, and I'm going to make that actually the light blue color that we had. So I'm going to go ahead, copy this. So much easier than having to go back into Canva every time and figure it out, because I've done that too. There you have that. And then we're going to go ahead and we'll leave this button the same color, but let's go ahead and change this one, and we'll just do it that same color that we just did. And then we'll go ahead and just leave that one black. So that is how you change your headings. So now let's just go and take a look and see how it looks, or actually do your style for your website. So oops, home, pages, and I'm just going to go ahead, click on this new index page and just pop a few things in and show you. So I'm just going to add a blank section. And I'm just going to go ahead and see how it changed it. And see how it changed it. So that is how you do your mood board design in your Canva or in your Squarespace website. And if you haven't looked at the one on how to do mood board in Canva, I've got a video on that as well. So anyways, I hope this was helpful to you, and shout out if you have any questions.